Parameters give us great flexibility and allows us a lot of ad hoc reporting by pulling data with predefined questions. One of the limitations of just hard coding the parameter into the query is that you cannot give the predefined answers. This requires our end users to know exactly what is contained in the field. You can easily use a form and drop-down boxes to give the users the ability to fill out the information. So let's start there. Let's go to Create and do a blank form. Let's go ahead and save this form as Report Nav. We'll click OK, and then go to our design view. I like to right-click the tabs to go to design view. That's just one way to do it. Go to the Design tab. The very first thing we're going to do is create a drop-down box for the list of customers. That way our end users can select the customer name versus have to know exactly how to type it out when they're prompted. I'll go to the combo box. I'll click in my form, and it'll start the wizard. I do want the combo box to get values from another table. It'll be my customer table. I'll make sure Table Customer is selected and choose Next. I'll just bring over the customer name. I'll choose Next. It would be nice for it to be sorted by customer name, so I'll select that. I'll choose Next, and then I want to be sure to size it appropriately. Perfect. I'll choose Next. And the label for the combo box really should be Select Customer Name. And then I'll choose Finish. Now, you probably already know how to move things and size them, but we'll do that now. Now, let's change the view and take a look at it. Perfect. Now, let's go back to our design view. We want to make our orders query be able to read the customer name box that we just created. Again, naming things meaningful can be helpful. Let's go to the Properties sheet. I'm going to right-click and go to Properties. Right now, this is called Combo 0. Let's name it Customer_SEL for Select. And then we can go ahead and save it. Now, in your queries, right-click Orders and choose Design View. Right now, we have it hard-coded as what customer. Let's highlight that and delete it. We're going to tell this query to look at that Report Nav form and pull from the Customer Select to know how to filter itself. I'll right-click and choose Build. I see my solution. I'll expand it. I see Forms. I'll expand it. And because it's open, it's in the Loaded Forms. I'll choose Report Nav, and I can easily tell that that's my Customer Select. I'll double-click it. It will tell the query to go to Forms, to the form called Report Nav, and pull the value from Customer Select. I'll click OK. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Let's save it and close it. I'll change the view on my Report Nav form, and I'll choose Bishop Cakes. Now, when I double-click the query, it's going to automatically filter, but it's still going to prompt me for the dates. I haven't changed those yet. I'll double-click Orders. I'll type in my start dates. I'll type in my end date. And when I click OK, I should only see Bishop Cakes. Awesome. I'll close it. Now, let's go add the start date and end date so our users can either type them in from the form or use the date picker. I'll go to the Design view. Now, using the design of my form design tools, I'll go and grab the text box tool. I'll go ahead and click on my form and call this Start Date. Click on my unbound text box, and now it's called Text 2. I'll name it Start Date, and I'll use that underscore select. I'll do the same thing for end date. I'll go ahead and click on my form, label it end date, and then name it end date select. You want to be consistent when you name things so that when you look at them through other boxes like the expression builder, There's no question what you're looking at. Let's save it, and then we'll go test it. Okay, I'm going to go to my design view of my orders query. I'm going to zoom in to the box here that has the order date. So there's the regular parameters for start date and end date. And I'm going to go replace them to actually work with the form. I'll press my delete key. I'll right click and go to build. Again, I'll expand my solution. I'll expand my forms. I'll expand my loaded forms. And when I click on report nav, I easily see start date select and end date select. I am looking between those dates. So I'll type between start date and end date. I'll save it and close it. When I click in the start date and end date, I notice that I don't have the date picker. Again, that's another property. I'll go back to my design view and I'll go ahead and add that format for date. Click on your field in your property sheet, go to format. At any point you lose your property sheet, you can easily select it up top, or you can right click any field to get to properties. We want a short date here. I'll do the same thing for end date. I'm keying the S for short date, but you can also hit the drop down and choose anything that would be appropriate. Let's go take a look. Now I see the date picker. Fantastic. This is great for users who may be uncomfortable typing the dates in the right format. Here I'll type 1/1/2015 and 6/1/2015. And I'll pull, how about we do Small Bank USA just to do a little bit different. I'll double click my query and then I see my results. Let's do one more thing before we're finished. Having your end users double click the orders query from the queries on the left, really not a good idea. For one, there's a lot of queries, and two, you don't want to give them access to the back end. So let's just go create an easy command button for this. You click the command button, click on your form. This is going to be listed in miscellaneous, and you'll choose run query. We'll choose next. We do want to run the orders query. Next. And we want people to know that they're going to be viewing the orders. So we'll type view orders. Then I'll choose next. This will be called command button, CMD BTN, view orders. And then I'll choose finish. Go ahead and save it. Go back to my form view. I'll choose depot on wheels. And I want to see anything from 2014 to 6/1/2015. And I'll choose view orders. You will have to decide what suits your system best. But if you want the flexibility of selecting options versus knowing exactly how to type it, then you might like to use queries, parameters, and forms together.